Hi, this is Rashima Sinha Stewart. And no, this is not going to be an episode today of the Rashima Sinha Stewart podcast. I'll be for later on this week. You can check that out later. But for right now, what I'm doing right now is a year and like look back at how 2025 went. Just my thoughts and opinions, how it went for the year. The good, the bad. I'm not going to say ugly, but things I thought was good. Things could have been better, and that's it. And then on January 2nd, you'll get a video on the goals of the new year. So that will be on a separate video. I don't want to say too much on this video because I want to do more of a recap. The looking forward one will be dropped on January 2nd on my channel. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and I think you'll get a lot out of it. All right, let's get started for today. First and foremost, this year was been a very, I would say, a good year. I don't know if I would say as good as last year, but it's still pretty high. So if I had to get a number grade between 0 to 100, 0 was like the worst year ever. I will not say that. And 100, I would say it's the best year of my life. I'm not going to say that either. But I'll give it a solid 80. That's a B minus because most schools now it's 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 80. Oh, and I mean 91 to 100 is A. So 80 to 81 to 90 is a B. So I'll give it a B minus. So I'll give it like a B, just a solid B. Um, a B minus year. And I'll say that for a couple reasons. There's been some times this year that was really, really good. Like I'll say the first quarter, I'll go by quarters. The first quarter of the year was good because I was working on a consistent ticket. Just to let you know, I do day labor work. When I say a ticket, mean that you get a work ticket for the day, and you go to that job location, and you put in whatever hours you put in. If they like it, they repeat you for the next day. They don't, you just get the hours and then go back to the office and try again tomorrow. Go somewhere else. Well, we was doing a ticket for pretty much almost the whole first quarter of 2025, and it stopped a little sooner than I thought we would. They thought at first it was gonna be a little later than they thought, but I found out way behind the scenes. It actually stopped a week or two earlier than it should have. And it's not our fault per se; it was just a miscommunication. But also during that first quarter of the year, I was able to travel to see a friend of mine in Kansas. Never been to Kansas, so as of right now, I'm planning to go back there again next year at some point, either first quarter or early second quarter of 2026. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll probably be right on my friend's birthday if I am going to go. Um, so again, yeah. So it was a good part of the first part of the year, and then things got a little slow for like a couple weeks. I didn't do too well in my sports picks at the beginning of the year. Um, even well, I did good in my fantasy, NASCAR and a couple other sports, but football and a couple main and basketball not so much. But we ain't gonna draw on that in this video. No. But I will say though, again, the first quarter went pretty well. Valentine's Day was good. I didn't spend it with nobody per se, but it was a fun day. I really had a debut movie I wanted to watch during that weekend, so I was able to watch that movie that day. Tried a new restaurant, BJ's, on my own. I done BJ's a couple times with friends, but this is the first time I did it on my own. It was good. It was a good experience. Um, if you haven't ate at BJ's Warehouse and Brewery, I would highly recommend. They got really good food, and especially the burgers are real good. And I just tried their wings. The wings are really good, especially this lemon pepper dry rub is highly recommended. So, oh yeah, I will give you a spoiler, just one little spoiler. We will be talking about food in some way, shape, or form more on this YouTube channel next year because I am a foodie. So this coming year there'll be some more stuff about food, but more details as it comes. Um, but what else I was gonna say? So yeah, again, the first quarter was good for the most part. Got to see family members at least once for that first quarter of the year, and it was fun. I was looking forward to some really good things coming, and that's I'm just gonna say all. I'm gonna say leave it at that. Second quarter of the year, I thought second quarter was decent. I mean, the birthday, he doing it here in Tampa this year. Compared to what I did in New York, there was more people spending time with me here in Tampa than actually did in New York. I was actually very disappointed. No, I don't want to say that because I did see my older brother again. My other brother, I haven't seen him in my year, so that was good to spend time with him for a couple hours. I did see one of my best friends again for the second year of my birthday, but compared to what the initial turnout was supposed to be, and hardly anybody showed up last year. That was this year. I'm almost gonna say last year because we're pretty much done with 2025. It was a little disappointing, but I hope in this coming year in 2026 it'll be much different. Seeing my based on initial feedback that I think it's going to be much better this year, doing it again in New York. Actually, the week of my birthday, and not doing the week after. So that's going to be interesting this year. So I'll keep you posted on that as the year goes on my channel. So if you guys are within range, you guys want to visit, say hello, that'll be nice. Did I do any travel besides that? No. Yeah, like I said, work was starting to get a little bit slow again. Well, things were starting to pick up like a little bit bits and pieces here and there. I would get like a weekly ticket to go a few places. My work wise was but it could have been better. I was looking at some new opportunities for me by then, but nothing really materialized. It got a little frustrating. So but again, I got to see some family members, got to see some close friends. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I'll backtrack a little bit. I made a tough decision towards the end of the first quarter, going to a little bit the second quarter of 2025. That the church that I was a part of, on and off for like a year or so. At that point, I decided no longer to go on a full time basis. I'll just go on special services, and that's it. Just because I didn't feel like they kept their promises, were allowing me to do some ministry stuff, trying to do some stuff for the church, trying to bring some more community stuff. And they only have like a couple of free, I hate to use the word favorites, but there are a couple of favorites to do it and not let anybody new do it. But there was a lot of BS going on behind the scenes, and I don't want to get into it, but it was enough to say, no, I don't need that type of church. And that's one of the things I'm praying for this coming year, that I would like to find a church that actually will let me be myself. I could praise God the way I want. I feel like I want to, and also feel like I could contribute to the church and do some type of work with the church in some way, shape, or form. So that's one of my new prayers. So okay, that's a little spoiler. I'm going to continue. I'll probably mention that tab more in details in the 2026 video. But anyway, so back to what I was saying. So the second quarter could have been better. Now we're getting to the third quarter. That's like July, August, September. Now this one things were, I think, in my opinion, was really, I think you can make the almost the best part of my year. That has some certain thing going behind the scenes, personally, and I'm not gonna mention on the video, but it was just chaos with me and people I'm living with, and it happens. Just got the rainstorm. But that was the time I had probably the most amount of work, was between like July and late September, early October. I got to visit family, got to see family again. So it was good that we see them at least once a quarter, so that was nice. Felt the work was getting better. That's when I really started my health and wellness journey back in July. With a company called Plexus. As you guys know, I mentioned a couple of videos in the past. I've been doing a wellness journey with them officially as of right now 5 months ago. So it's been a blessing. I've been losing some weight. I'm trying to eat healthier. So that's something I'm proud of. And I'm also proud of being a brand ambassador for the last few months. I'm looking forward to right now continuing that next year and going from there. Now the last quarter, so the last quarter is like October, November, December. That's when things really slow down. Unfortunately, a couple trips had to be canceled. That I really want to do. I did do the one in New York for a second time this year. Now, I don't know if I'll do two next year, but they had like a little bit of reunion. Wasn't my class, but a lot of people knew me in the class that had the reunion. So they was like, "Hey, you want to just not say crash? You want to just stop by?" And at first, I wasn't gonna go because I anyway had the money to go. But someone found out later not as me paid for my ticket, so it was covered. So that was nice. Still didn't know who did it, but if you are a subscriber to the channel, you actually did. I want to say thank you for doing that. You didn't have to do that. And then after that, work got really slow. After things slowed down, that my continued ticket, which I'm hoping to be back up and running probably next week. So keep that in prayer. For now, and then unfortunately, the year ended on a up and down note because my oldest brother right here, Glenn, passed away a couple of weeks ago, almost about 3 weeks ago now. A little bit 3 weeks ago now, and it's been hard. Just to keep the faith at times, just keeping my head up. So it kind of ended a little bit on a blah, but like I said, overall, like I said, I give it a B minus grade for the year. So here's the things I learned. I learned there's gonna be a lot of up and downs in life. You just have to realize when those up and downs come, how you react to it and how you overcome, how you persevere will define what type of character and what type of person you are. Another thing I learned this year that not everything's gonna be roses. You have to work and grind for everything you get. And sometimes it's okay to ask for help. Excuse me, I'm feeling a little itchy today because it's a little bit colder than normal here in Florida, so that's why I'm waiting the lawn. So bear with me. So yeah, you can't be afraid to ask for help. Whether it's financial help, information help, maybe for some opportunities. You can't just be a Lone Ranger. You can't just be a Superman. You're going to need people to help you at some point. I know people say, I'm a self-made millionaire. Not necessarily, because somebody had to help you. Someone had to put that dream, God put that dream and goal. But someone had to help you get advice. Somebody had to help you get at least the first connection to get you on your made. So you may have done most of the work by yourself, but you didn't do all of it by yourself. So keep that in mind as well. Another thing I learned this year that God will put new people or people back in your life that will add value and embrace it. God put those people back for a reason, or put those people in for a reason. And I appreciate it because I think this has been a solid group of people now. My inner circles becomes very solid now. And I feel like now I see nothing but great things coming in 2026 and beyond with the group of people in my life. So remember that when you get those people in your life, cherish it and hang on to it because you really don't know until maybe later why God put those people in your life. So again, appreciate it and embrace it. And the last thing I learned this year is time is precious. Time is so precious. Like I just mentioned a minute ago, my oldest brother died. I was supposed to see him probably the day of Christmas or the day after Christmas, and I missed it by like 2.5 weeks. I didn't really get to call to him after Thanksgiving, which I look back on. I wish I should have picked up the phone and said something to him. So I'm going to start doing better with that next year, especially the people I care most about is staying in contact with them more, not just texting, that's cool, but more like phone calls, sometimes video calls, and they want to do that route and, setting up meetings and connections because, like I said, you don't know when your time is up, and you have to realize that life is very fragile. You could be here 1 minute, and all of a sudden, just like that, they could be gone the next minute. And a lot of it could be out of nowhere. It's like an RKO out of nowhere. It just hit you, and you didn't see it coming. So, so that's my year in review. Let me know how your year went in the comments. Give yourself a grade for the year, like an A, like if you're in school, like an A to an F, and put a number behind it, and be honest. And then why'd you give yourself that grade? Let's help each other next year. Let's all help each other next year get an A for our year next year, for this coming year. And I just want to thank you guys so much. And I'm gonna probably mention this again in my year, my upcoming year goals and plans. But I just want to thank you guys because as of recording this today, I have now officially 230 subscribers, and we're at for over 44,500 total views. So we're only 500 views away from 45,000. That's just amazing. That's just an amazing blessing because I honestly didn't see those numbers coming, but more importantly, B, it is, again, it's a blessing because you don't realize until it's too late what that means to you and how people mean and touch your lives and take time out of their schedule to watch and listen what you have to say. So, but anyway, so that's my year in review. That's my 2025 year in review video. If you're new to the channel, hello, I'm glad you're here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It does help with the analytics. Another thing that does help with the analytics is please write a comment, and especially if you timestamp it. So say if you're making a comment like that at 17 minutes and 40 seconds. Oh, I like Rasheem's goatee. Put it in the timestamp because it does help with the analytics. I just found that out recently, so they want YouTube to encourage people to start mentioning that in the comments. Like timestamping does help. Also, if you're new and you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, and then after that, hit the notification button, the bell, and click all. So every time we do a video, an update video, some new stuff is coming soon, which I'll be mentioning in a video in the next couple of days. You'll see. You guys will be the first ones to get it. May God bless you. God bless your families. God bless Israel. God bless the world. Again, I love and appreciate you so much. I wish you all a very happy and blessed New Year, and God has great things in store for you guys this year. Embrace it, and let's have some fun. See you in the next video. Bye.